Chikupa.
Now, Kenya's agriculture sector remains the backbone of the economy, feeding millions and sustaining rural livelihoods, yet it is under growing pressure from climate shocks, rising input costs and shifting food demand. Maize, which is the country's staple, continues to dominate production but remains highly vulnerable to supply gaps that often force imports to stabilize markets. Now, it is against this backdrop that a new agribusiness and health focus is emerging in Nairobi County, linking what is grown on farms to what ends up on the national table and ultimately to the country's rising burden of lifestyle diseases.
Of frontal pack nutrition labeling will enable consumers to make informed decisions about the foods that they choose to buy. Also, it will be able to identify the healthier food options and also public health protection.
Of course, Ministry of Health is leading this process to develop enabling policy framework in the country that is looking at provision of front-of-pack labeling requirements, or a system, adoption of a front-of-pack labeling warning system that would enable consumers to identify quickly at a glance.
One way, even in our journalism activities and reporting, or maybe driving the narrative both to the public and the government, is actually to now talk deeply on extending incentives, not just at fertilizer levels, but also in advertisement. I think it can be done because accessibility is actually familiarity, and what people see in the billboard will be able to change the habits.
All right, with that, we've come to the end of this segment of the business news this afternoon.